Okay, so chapter 35 in the book of Numbers is outlining a couple more rules for the children of Israel. We're getting closer, but now that they've divided out the inheritance in the last chapter, now they're going to divide out there's cities. Okay, these are the specific cities for the tribe of Levi. Remember, Levi's tribe, because they're the priests, they're the ones that are dealing with the tabernacle, the congregation, and moving it around and taking care of it. They don't have a land for inheritance, like where they can grow crops, they can have animals, things like that. So there are several cities that are built that are basically portions of other people's inheritances that are set aside for where the tribe of Levi can live. This is where they set up their tents. This is where the priests and their families will live, is in these cities, basically, that they have set up. Also in here, they set up a different kind of city called the city of refuge. So this is a type of city where if you're committed of a crime, like murder, you can flee for safety. You are not, they cannot pursue you into that city to arrest you. So this is a way to get away, basically. Now, that doesn't mean if you do commit murder and you flee to a city of refuge that you are outside of the jurisdiction or you don't get punished or tried for your crime. That still has to happen. But it gives you a place to go where you can have some safety until your name can be cleared or until you are found guilty of the crime. So this is a special place they can go. So if you are accused of murder, you can flee to this place with people can't stone you, they can't grab you, they can't throw you in jail. You live outside the area of the tribes, but you live in this city and it is reserved for people who are escaping. Basically, so it's a place of refuge. You can go there, you can stay there. The police can't come drag you to jail. Basically, you can live there until you go through the trial and everything else, basically. With that is also, they talk about murderers. What happens if you are a murderer? Now, the challenge is, as they talk about in here, and I'm not going to get into all the details of this, but realize that there's people who actively murder. They are the aggressor. Then there's people who are called the revengers. And so that's, sorry, Thor, you did not come up with revengers in your movie. Revengers of blood are people who basically go after somebody else. Somebody committed murder, so they go after the murderer. Whether that's not necessarily a self-defense situation, but could be, or these people who are revenging the death of somebody else. So now we have to have a way to tell the difference between who is a murderer and who is a revenger of blood. So you have to be able to tell the difference on those. And that's what they talk about in here is what is that difference? How do we differentiate these two people at trial so that we can convict the correct people and get them taken care of? Murderers are basically punished by death. It says towards the end here in this, I believe it is, let's see, verse 33, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed thereon, but by the blood of him that shed it. So the only way to absolve blood is with more blood. The person who killed is the person that gets killed, and that's how we solve that problem. So murder is capital punishment, and they take it pretty serious. But again, they want to help to determine what is that difference? How do we tell the difference between a murderer and a revenger of blood so that we don't get those mixed up? Because one is okay to an extent, the other one is not okay, and we have to delineate that out. So that's what this chapter is talking about. If you want to get into those details, to go through those, then you are more than welcome to get into this and talk more about it. We thought we'd at least give just a quick summary to understand what those are. As again, they're almost ready. They almost have all the information they need so they can enter into the promised land. So stay tuned for the next chapter, chapter 36, and we'll get into more of this story.